Man, so yeah, the mixtape 2, it's finally done. It took a minute for us to get this done. Some of these joints we're working on for like, nothing's probably about 2014. And I actually lost the session files. And I was like, it's a little bit too similar to things on the album anyway. And then I was like, went through another relationship that was very similar to what I was saying in the song. So like, fuck it, I'll just redo it. I've still got the lyrics there, I've got the beat, and at the time it was just sheer laziness that I didn't redo the song. But yeah, redid that and released it as a single. It's on Spotify prior to the mixtape. But that was like a year ago. So yeah, it's definitely taken way too long to get this out.
2,000 years later.
I generally like to do everything myself. I'm an absolute perfectionist, absolute control freak. I usually find when I get other people to do things, it just doesn't turn out as well for whatever reason, whether it be, you know, them, or I can't communicate what I want done and everything. But this time I was working with Blake from Fiends, and he knows what he's doing.
Respect my elders, but fuck the vulture shit. I'm going with this soul, I got the hold of it. The truth is out there, son, not my older shit. I mean, I ain't really down with the mumbling type bitch. Come up with something that means nothing like this. But when you fucking like this, that old bullshit, ain't fucking.
Can't find the frequency.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure they're the same.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I grabbed the mixes up here in January, but I didn't get to them until March because I was overseas. I don't often take on other people's recording projects, so it was a bit sort of new for me, really. But it was good, you know. Like, I think we're both perfectionists, and I think that it was a strength and a weakness, really.
I mean, we did bump heads a little bit, like going back and forth over mixes, and he wanted this way, I wanted that way, and it was like, you know, I wanted backups way loud, he wanted them so you could barely hear them.
Lots of back and forth. We got it done. I don't know what to say. I sound like a fucking footy player. Oh, all credit to the boys.
2 teams turned up on the day.
Yeah.
Then like he's making them the vocals super bright, and I'm like, nah, man, that ain't it. And we would have gone back and forth over like 8 sets of mixes.
I don't know. Should we go through the Wii transfer history? I think it's like, I don't know. I think we did like maybe 7 or 8 back and forths. And like, you know, I wrote my list, Midas wrote his list, and you know, 2 sets of ears is always better than 1.
You know, we got it done. It took a while, and you know, both of us just plain forgot it at some points too. It's like, you know, fuck, we need to put this out.
Like we had some sort of quiet periods in between here and there, but
I remember hitting him up one time and I was like, oh man, like let's just sit down, put in an 8-hour day, and let's just get everything done. And like maybe like an hour or 2 into it, we have a blackout.
Pretty much done with everything, and we're mixing it down, ready to listen to it, and all sorts of different speakers and test it, and the power cut out.
The whole area where Blake lives is just like a massive blackout, like 30 block radius, whatever it is, like blackout. And we're just looking at each other like, only this release, only this fucking release.
So we just went and got wings and chilled the fuck out.
I remember at one point telling Blake, I was like, righto, these ones here, these ones, don't touch. They're done.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with mixing, man. It's like you're constantly fighting your own biases, and it's like every time you listen to something, like you get used to it.
And like literally, before I could even like email that to him, he was already like working on those joints.
So yeah, a lot of times I reluctantly quickly set some new mixes. Sometimes right after you download, right after Midas downloaded the ones I set the night before, which was inconvenient.
When I was going through the finals, I had like 6 different versions of some songs, 4 of another, and it was just like, even if it wasn't the latest date, like I was picking whatever fucking sounded good to me. Sorry, Blake. I was listening to a new Big Boy album, and it had like a 2 Chainz verse on it, and something he said made me think of Harambe, and I was like freestyling this hook and quickly driving home to like write it down or record it before I forget it. And then I was like, we're gonna have like singers on it. I was gonna hit up my boy Big Hustle. He, you know, he was way too busy, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try and hit up Joyride. He never even got back to me. I don't think he even seen the DM, but I decided to have a crack, and it's like, what's the worst I can do, you know? We give it a crack, and then, yeah, well, I can't sing.
Harambe, yeah, Harambe. Well, it took a little bit of convincing to get Morris to let me use the auto-tune.
But luckily, Blake is really good with the auto-tune. Probably a little bit too good initially. There was some ridiculous auto-tunage.
It wasn't even auto-tune really, I used Vari Audio, so I kind of, like manually, we kind of fleshed out the melody. The first version was way too far. He was never going to accept that.
We had to tone it back. Basically, I wanted it just to sound like I could sing a bit better than I could.
And yeah, we went back and forth a few times on it, kind of scaled it down, and yeah, turned Midas into a pop star.
And we got there in the end, and it sounds sick. And what's crazy is there's a part within Harambe that we use as like a vocal sample in Get the Fuck Out of My Face, which that's hilarious to me.
Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, what was it? Second half of the second verse, Harambe. She was really good on her back. She was really good on her back. Or however it goes. The back. I literally took the back, shifted it up a couple octaves, and it became the lead instrument in Get the Fuck Out of My Face. The
yeah. How's that go again?
Yeah, no more. I didn't do my warm-ups.
How that joint happened is like I got hit up for a feature by a producer and MC, and he sent me this joint, and then I was like, yeah man, I'm keen, that's dope, and I did a dope verse, and came back like maybe about 6 months, a year later, and he hadn't done nothing with it. I was like, man, what are you doing? Like that was fire. He's like, oh, you know, blah blah blah. I said, well, if you ain't doing nothing with it, let me do something with it.
The beat that Midas had wrote to it, was pretty cool, but like I had a bit of trouble with the mix. I think maybe he might have even overcompressed it. Like,
I went to show Blake like this idea I had with it and what he thought of the joint. It is something a little bit different to what I usually do, and there's a second verse on there that I don't even remember doing. All I can think of is like I got drunk one night and just like went in on this verse, and listening to it in comparison to the other one, like you can tell like I had been drinking. I had to have been drinking because, yeah, but the verse is fire. We kept that verse because I'm lazy.
But yeah, it was just the mix was a little bit too squashed, so I just kind of decided one Arvo to just rebuild it from scratch. All credit to the original guy, but yeah, we redid it and made it a bit more clean. And yeah, it came out really well. Definitely one of the harder, trappier sort of things Midas has ever rapped on.
And that's one of my favourite songs, and I cannot wait to take that shit live, because that's gonna be so much fun.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Spell it all caps, straight murder in the game. Look out, look out. Everybody better look out, look out. J's on my feet and I'm leaving an imprint. Try to hold me back, boy, what is you thinking? Look out, look out. Everybody better look out, look out.
Look Out is probably my favourite joint off the album, or the mixtape, the project, whatever it is. I literally typed in Primo type beats into YouTube. That came up. This dude from UK produced it. I hit him up, got the rights to it and everything, and we're meant to have a dude from New York actually on it, but his producer went away, then there was all these type of things, and it was taking forever, and I was just like, nah. Switched up lyrics within the verse. It used to say it's that BK Connect, because he was from Brooklyn, and I just changed it to Freeway Connect. And it still has Matt Murdock, because his name was Hooks Martinez, but his name was like Matt, was it Hooks Murdoch or something like that. I was playing with the words, but I kept that bit in there because no one's really going to know. And then there's a Punisher and Daredevil reference in there. So, but yeah, that's one of my favourite joints, and that's going to be fun live. We're hoping to do a video for that. If by the time you're seeing this we already have, then we did it. Fuck it. Don't move forward or back.
The whole song is like a whole extra.
Just little fucking clips, bro. Where we just fucking, where I'm pretending to interview you or whatever. Like, we just play around. Monstrous, we did with Rorks. Rorks is my boy. For the clip, you'll see an in-depth thing with what we did with that. But basically, we just got super fucked up and just like had this whole idea of like Onyx, how they push each other back and forth, and like. Then I'm watching it back going like, why did we do that? That shit doesn't even make sense. It's just, we're just pushing each other around for no reason. Then we had the idea of like some wrestling shit. Then there was like a bit where like I tackle him. None of that got used. None of that got used. Watch the behind the scenes video and you'll get to see all that rubbish that we didn't use. But yeah, really fun track. Every time I get on the piss with Rorks now, he just complains about how we let someone else produce that joint, and he should have produced that joint, even though he likes the beat, but he wanted to produce it. So, shout outs to Nerd for that beat. It was originally Body the Beat contest beat, and I did a verse on it, but the shit was so dope that I just had to hit him up and bought the stems off him and everything, and yeah, had to do it, man. Crazy beat. Crazy tune. The Godzilla thing. It's crazy that like that linked up, because there's actually a Godzilla movie that came out like around the time that or was coming out soon around the time we're working on that, and we come up with that Godzilla idea. So we're going to try and cross-reference it, but time got away, and who knows. It may still resonate like that, but it may not. Doesn't matter. What matters is you guys have got the project, or you're about to get the project, pre-order it, whatever you're doing. Yeah, pre-order that shit. Pre-save it on Spotify, download it, pre-whatever. Support the project, support dope music, and I'll keep bringing it to you. How about that? Yeah, look, I'm super proud of this project. It may have taken that little bit longer. It may have taken like everything we had. But I think it's worth it. Like everything's just worked out so fucking well. Even if it did take like triple the amount of time it should have. Maybe quadruple.
We got it done. I'm not good at this at all.
Let's get this done. I've done this like 3 or 4 times already, and it was out of focus.
I really gotta write this shit down, man. Like, all those videos you see me do on YouTube and stuff, they're all scripted.
Like bite it off. Just do it. Just do it. Just like peel it with your mouth. You don't have to rip it.
I think it's good. I mean, if you ever need me to be a hype man, I know the ending words to just about every line.
Battery's dying.
Are you gonna hit me with some lines?
Should test you out. I think the worst thing, and we didn't cover it in the behind the scenes video, was like I thrashed a good pair of white 90s in that. There was a shot, or there was meant to be a shot, it never actually worked. So I didn't even recall. I'm thrashing around with my white 90s in the ground, like with the struggle trying to get undone and that. I thrashed them 90s for no reason. We didn't even get the shot. I accidentally took a photo, that was it.
In the worst way. First grade.
That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap on the mixtape too. We done, son. We done. Still don't believe it. Still won't believe it.